Okay, I got this apart. One thing is, I'll tell you, lay this divider plate down. Check out your holes and passages where the balls are. They will hammer the plate out, and you'll feel on the other side. But if you feel this plate, you run your hand over it, you'll feel sharp edges in that, just from machining. And then like here, I can feel where it's check ball had been hammering on it here. I have to do a little bit more. But you just take a Scotch-Brite pad, like this here, and you run over that valve body. Now I was talking about something else before. I'll try sitting down here so I can kill myself. If you look, see that valve? That's stuck. That valve, see, it won't even tip back now how little bit it was. So, this is what I was talking about. Now, pull this valve out. Try to do this one-handed, ain't easy. So now if we look at this valve, I don't know if you can see all them little scratches in there. And what I was talking was, you can polish this, but you gotta be careful and leave these edges right here square. So you can polish this area with some fine emery cloth, but try to damnedest to keep these edges square. I wonder if I can do this quick. I'm gonna set this. Let's see, will this work? Where am I at? I'll try propping you up here. So yeah. I got some fine emery cloth here. So like I said, take this valve and just very carefully polish it. Can you see what I'm doing here? Just get up to these edges here, but try to keep them so they stay square. These bigger ones ain't as bad as the small ones. The small ones are a little more difficult, but okay. Now I polish this valve up, and it was just a quick polish. But I'm going to show you something here. See there? That's all it took. That's what you needed to do. Is you need it to float like that. See, you can shake it and it floats around. That one just come loose. This one's still got some tight spots in it. I'm still going to clean it up some. Feel it right there. But it's a hell of a lot better than what it was. That's what I was talking about. When I say they're stuck, if they don't float, that's the problem. And you can feel these valves. I mean, I say when you can feel them, is if you go like this, you'll feel that edge is sharp. If you start rounding that edge off, that's when you've done messed up. Like I said, now, I had to struggle to get this valve out. And see now, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's free floating. See how it just flops right around? That's what you got to have when you clean these valves. I could probably do a little more in this one, but it's doing real good. So I got a little bit of a burr or something down there. So I want to make that quick video. I don't know how much this will get recorded. I'm still using my phone. I think this valve comes new in the kit. I don't know. I can see some scoring on it. The trash has went through it. Now, if I take this over, make sure it's clean. And you'll see what I mean when this, I can still see I can feel it even. I can see some of the scoring still on there. There. That's how they gotta be. It's just, I don't know. Can you see that? Oh, if I do it this way. See, that's how they gotta be. They just gotta float like that. And that's what that one's doing now. So, I don't have a piece of cardboard here to tear mortise apart. And I gotta tear this one apart because this tranny is full of debris. Let's see if I can make one here real quick. Right here. I had the scissors here. I was using them today. There it is. I'm making this one kind of quickly and crudely because I got the camera rolling. You guys will get the gist of it here when you see it. You take a piece of cardboard, fold it up like that. So you got all your valleys in there. Now, when I pull this all apart here, trying to throw stuff away, I see. Can you, yeah, you see my cardboard. This transmission had a bunch of trash and debris run through it, so that's another reason I'm going to pick everything apart on this valve body. Wash it up extremely well. So now, I just saw that right here. Whoa. Slowly roll down here. So, see, you got this. You set it right in the valley, so you know them two go back together. I got this one over here. That's another one to clean up. That goes in another valley in the pit cardboard. So that one doesn't come out that way. So, like I said, I'm going to switch. So now this comes apart like this. So then I'm going to switch this because that all came out on that side. So then I got that spring. This spring. And this spring. So you try to keep that orientated. That one actually slid in and out nice. So that one gets this spring. That one hung up a little bit, but that gets that spring. And then this valve gets that spring. Usually if I got the paper towel there, they don't go flying all the way to the floor and beyond. So now I got this one. I'm going to set the plate there. Was that stuck or has that got a C-clip in it? See? Stuck valve. Now that all comes out like that, and I can lay it all in order. So I know it goes back in that order. This valve here, but see all the gunk and dirt and junk in there? That's what I said, you gotta tear this apart. Now, I know I'm going to do this wrong, but there's a seal in here that needs replaced. So that's got to come off. And that. And this rooster comb. There's a ball right here. There. There is a upgrade in the kit for this. I'll show that when I get there. But now you see the shaft is all fugly. I'm going to go to my other parts washer. See, that's what I'm trying to accomplish there. I'll probably have to hit this some more. Now I'll lube that up real good. It's just yours. This is outside the transmission, so I'll try to get anything that's inside real clean. Dragging seals and stuff is what I mean. Hopefully you can still hear me through all the ruckus here. You can see I polished that up. Now, running out of room on my paper. I'll set that one over there. Well, there's a new one of these in the kit, so you don't have to worry so much about this. And holy shnikers, this one's in tough shape. But you can just hook wrong hole. I mean, without cleaning that, I mean, you'll know when you polish them. I mean, see, I mean, it should just free float in there, and it don't. And like I said, you'll know when you polish them, they just have to float in the valve body, so, in fact, there, that one was stuck in there. Like I said, I'll clean this all up. That's not about polishing it. I'll see what I can do with putting this kit in. I just wanted to tear this down, start cleaning it up. I got my other memory cards. I'm gonna try getting my other camera set up if I can. You can polish these bores some. I'm probably not going to. I'll see how everything matches up once I polish the what we do is we take a piece of steel rod, pick what length you want, usually 6 inches long or so, 4 inches, depending on which bore you got to go on. I mean, make different length ones, and you cut a slot and end it with a cut off wheel, or put it in a vise and use your hacksaw. The thinner the better. You put your emery cloth in there, and then you can use that on a drill and go in and just lightly touch these bores, but you got to be very, very careful. So there, that's the valve body tore down. Oh, trying to get my hands clean off here so I can grab my phone. So here's what I'm talking about when I said lay everything out. You can do bigger pieces of cardboard. Just keep all your valves together, way they came out. So you got all the springs in order, everything. And yeah, I got lots of cleaning yet to do. So I'm gonna get everything in order so I can, like I said, I'll get my camera out here and stuff, and I have to make a little more room and stuff in here because I have to get my drill. I'm gonna take this in and with me right now, and I'm gonna read through it. Just read it all and then go through. But yeah. They call it a mumbly peg. I don't know what the deal is there, but insert the spring and ball in the valve body pocket using the mumbly peg to, and then remove peg. I see. Okay. That's for, like I said, I'll have to read through this and so there's different springs in here and everything else that they send with this kit. And I'll get this to the page that I need, I think. Come on. Get yourself one of these manuals too, by the way, if you're going to be doing this, because I have a bigger one in the house. So here's everything we took out. Try not to get these springs mixed up, like I said. I'll see. This is the one I was screwing with in there that I don't know if I'll take out. It's got the C-clip on, but it's working pretty good. It seems pretty free, but I might just take it out and polish it up just anyways. Just didn't do it right now. Like I said, get one of these books. The one I have in the house actually is a big transmission Bible, covers many different years. That actually has the spring, how many coils, and the diameter of the spring. Because I had a mix-up and I flipped my cardboard over one time and I had to sort all them springs out. And it is not fun. So it's better to try to keep everything in order, like I showed you there. And just, this is where it's critical. This is the whole, the transmission. Yes, you got to make sure you get your seals good. Seals, adjust your bands and everything else on this one. get done. I haven't showed you this part, but you can go in here and air check your air check the air check all the clutches. That's air checking all good. So yeah, I need to find my socket to adjust the bands. Tighten them to 72 inch-pounds, I think it is. I'll look in the book. But tighten them and then you back them off. I'll look. Easier to look than to guess. I got to get my other torque wrench so I can torque the rear housing on. That's why the socket is still on there, in case any of you see it. Let's see. That's about it. Like I said, I got my dirtier parts washer over here, so I wash everything in that. And my cleaner stuff in here. I try to clean everything off the best I can beforehand. Now, like I was talking on this valve body, if you look real close where these check balls are, and be sure that none of these are hammered out or protruding through. There's a little bit of a lip on this one here. I might take, there's a little bit of a lip on that one. I don't know if I'll leave that or what. I'll see what pocket it sits in, see how big the pocket is. I might take a stone and just basically hone it down with a honing stone. Corner of it there, just get on it, clean it up, but it's actually pretty good, so I'll probably leave it alone. Like I said, it's not bad. You'll see if they're really hammered out. Hope this helps somebody if they're going to rebuild a valve body, and 904, 727 valve body's the same pretty much. I bought another 727 this morning to get parts. I wish I would have went and looked. I would have probably pulled that one apart and got a bunch of parts out of it, but actually I think that's a good transmission. I just robbed the pan off of it, so I'll be going back over there tomorrow at least and putting a couple bolts in and getting the pan back on it, because I actually bought the transmission from the guy because it was nice when I took the cover off. So keep an eye out in the junkyards, I guess that's all I can say. And yeah, there's I said, I'm take these instructions in. I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do. There's drilling, certain models. Here you got to file this notch in here. The file, so I got to get my good file in here. I know where my big file is. It just says file a notch across top to bottom. It's not fussy, so yeah. Let's see what else. There's all kinds of stuff in here to check. I can't emphasize enough how much I like Transgo. I mean, I said I'm gonna take it and read through just so I got it all in my mind. I do not have a photographic memory. I can do something 1,000 times and I still gotta question myself when it comes to technical stuff. I just try not to remember some stuff because it's easy to make mistakes. I figure if there's a paperwork with it every time you get it, it's better off to follow the paperwork, especially on something like this. Just follow the paperwork and yeah, just super clean this valve body, polish everything. Be careful, like I said, keep them corners square. If you don't keep them corners square, if a debris gets in there, instead of pushing the debris out, it'll actually wedge and lock the valve. That's the reason for making sure them corners stay square. So just kind of work up to that edge. I know it's real tough on them narrow lands, but just be very careful and diligent and just work on them corners. And yeah, what else can I say? Oh, I was going to show you, and I got company. When I put the pump bushing in, I was going to show you, and I didn't have no updates on the pump to do. So, this is the pump bushing here. And you see these marks right here? So when you put this bushing in the pump, you drive it in. I just took a bolt. There we go. And I just rounded it like that. I'm going to probably do a little fancier job on it, go a little more rounded. It worked alright, but I mean, I'd like it a little more rounded. See, they've staked this pretty hard, but that's called staking it. Now, when you do that, so you put this bushing in, use sleeve retainer, high temperature sleeve retainer. It's green. Get this bushing in. Now, when you get this bushing pounded in, you take your torque converter and you put that on the pump, and that has to be smooth and free. You may have to file a little bit with a round file or something just in there to touch it up a little bit and then polish it. And that's what I did. I polished it. I know I was going to show you guys doing that, but I think I can explain it good enough to. And the same thing now, when I put all these bushings inside the transmission, I took the correlating shaft and I put this over, and when you spin it, you'll see a dark spot in the bushing if it's tight. You gotta emery cloth, polish that dark spot out. Same with this pump bushing. Any other bushings, I had some others in there and I sat and I polished on them. There's, I can show you in here in the book real quick, hopefully. So there's this shaft here, there was bushings on the stator that went on there. Trying to find the stator quick here. And I replaced that bushing. And like I said, it just, you gotta make sure that that stuff just free is all and polish it up so it's nice and free. Okay, here we go. So there's bushings in here that I replaced. So I put it on the shaft to make sure it's spun free. Where else did I replace bushings? I think there's one back in here that I replaced. Any of them bushings you drive in, just check it and polish it and clean it to make sure that they fit again. And everything's nice and smooth. Same thing, I think I showed that. So when you pull these pistons out, just polish them up where the seals ride. You'll see there's slight scoring. Just take that Scotch-Brite pad, polish them up. Okay, here's what I was looking for. So these bushings here, this is what I was talking about. I replaced these bushings in here. So you gotta make sure that all fits and goes in smooth. And just polish them up. Like I said, you put them together and you'll feel they're tight. And when you pull it apart, you'll see a dark spot. Same thing within here where these pistons are now. I polished all them up with Scotch-Brite. They weren't real bad. I could have used like that steel rod I was telling about and some emery cloth if I needed to. But these cleaned up real nice. So soak everything in transmission oil. The fluid that you're going to use in the tranny. This tranny is getting AMSOIL OE. I'll make a recommendation that that's what you should use in your tranny. It's got a higher boiling point, and that's what burns your clutches up, is when the oil starts to boil, it gets an air pocket, then you have no protection on the clutch, and then it starts to slip, and then it burns up because you're metal on metal or whichever. It starts to slip because of that air in there. So that's why I recommend it. It's, it's just got a higher boiling point. You got more protection for the tranny and just a good quality oil. That's most important in these. Now people, and this is probably gonna, if anybody gets this point of the video, people said, "Oh, I run high trans or hydraulic oil in there." Do not run hydraulic oil. I can't express this. I sat down with the guy that, of course, he sells the AMSOIL, but we sat down and he studies oil. That's why I had this conversation with him, and he's the one that builds transmissions. I had a long discussion with him on this. You do not have the boiling point in hydraulic oil that you do in transmission fluid. So you're going to burn your clutches up faster with hydraulic oil. Do not use hydraulic oil. It doesn't have the properties that you need for a transmission. Back again, that's why I said I suggest AMSOIL in here, and the reason I suggest it is because of the boiling point on oil. It isn't favoritism AMSOIL or nothing like that. It's just, it's protection. Comes down to saving the transmission. Now, way the friend explained it too that does transmissions. He said if you use a type of oil, when you put them together, it's best to stick with that type of oil because the properties in it was like type F, has a certain additive in it and stuff. And I'm probably going to get this wrong, so don't take this as the holy gospel. But I believe it is if you use Dextron, Mercron, you can go to type F. If you use type F, you have to stick with type F. So with that being said, I got a 904 that I built. I don't know if I'll probably do it in this one too, but I'm using what's called AMSOIL Super Shift. The reason for that is the Super Shift, I want to say it's almost like a friction modifier. That was the deal with the type F too. It just had a little more grab on the clutches. And so I'm using an AMSOIL Super Shift in the 904 I built. And I'll probably put it in this 1727 I'm building too. Let's see what else. Oh, I got a C4 I'll be putting it in. So, yeah. That C4, that's going to be an interesting one. That's going to be, I'm going to have to do some research. I'm going to figure out, I might have to order some different drums for it. That's going to get more clutches put in it. That's going to be a lot of machine work. I'll hopefully have my camera going decent so I can show you some of the stuff I'm doing. I don't know what I can do here. I'll probably end up getting a turning lay in here for when I do that one. So it's going to be a little bit. The reason I say that is I'll probably cut some new snap ring grooves if I can to use my drums. The pistons, I might even go as far as machining the pistons down, the lip on the piston, where everything sits on to get more clutches in. It's just, I got to research and see what I can do to get clutches stuffed in that tranny. That tranny is going in my Mustang, and that's what I was kind of getting this all together for, is so I could get that tranny for my Mustang together. It should be that engine when I get it together. It should be crowding at 400 horse, so it'll be a 3000 stall. So that's what I said. I'm going to get extra clutches in there, all kinds of stuff. I might even drill out some of the passages in there. I'll try figuring it out for the oil cooler lines and stuff. If I can drill anything out in there, get more oil flow. I run A&N line. I'll be running either 3/8 or 1/2 inch, so it'll be number 6. Number 6 or number 8 line I'll be running. I think 8 is 1/2 inch. I can't remember them numbers in my head. Like I said, there's stuff that I do and I just, yeah. So this is where we're at, and I'll cut this off here. And there'll be another one, I guess, on this. As soon as this bell body's done, then this will be going in as bombardier, and then we'll be doing testing on it. So, well, God bless all. Keep the greasy side down, and we'll talk at you later.